Let's get it. It's episode 56. That's Height Drop 56 or HD56. For the Spanish listeners out there. We have Vinny Fiacco on this episode today. My brother, my man, guy I've known since the 2010, I think, training with him at Apex in some of my earliest classes there. Just the goddamn salami, you know. He's from Long Island. You guys know him well. He's all over the sport parkour league circuit, helping manage that. He manages Apex Denver here in Colorado, and he's just one of the most ridiculous and fun human beings you'd ever want to meet. So I'm very pleased and fortunate to know him, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode. It's all over the place, as you might expect from two arguably immature men on the mic having a good time. There is sort of a through line about, you know, us going into our 30s now and exploring and how we have different stages in our lives, different interests, and how we can adapt and make them work for us and find meaning for ourselves as we age and really listen to that inner voice and things. So there's some good stuff in here too, even underneath all the dick joking and whatever. You get to hear a really interesting pumpkin story, and the weeks ahead are looking good. So I just wanted to give a shout out real quick. Julian Frazier was in the mix. He kind of joined us midway through this episode. His episode's coming out next. He's another up-and-coming athlete on the SPL Sport Parkour League circuit. So hyped for that. Episode is a good one. Look out for that after this one. Make sure you're subscribed so you can get all this stuff. And then tomorrow I'm talking to Frosty Fresh about him putting out his final video and him, you know, where he's going, what he's doing next, and I can't wait to reconvene. He'll also be at SPL, and SPL is another topic that we kind of discussed in this episode. So a lot of good stuff in here, actually. I hope you guys dig this one. Remember to stay subscribed, get all the feedback, whatever. If you want to support the podcast, it's all in the description. Go find it. Much love for being here with me, and let's dive into this juicy ass episode with Vinny Fiacco. Let's see here what we got.
What do we got?
I got a library. I got a playlist going here.
All right.
And it's not very long. So, like, I have not much to choose from. You know, well, fuck.
Well, I mean, how long is not very long? Like,
you know
10
what?
songs?
I got the perfect one, dude.
That's what I wanted to hear.
This is what's up, dude, because this is throwback. This is a little bit throwback. This is something you're going to appreciate.
Okay, there, yep.
Ooh. You know what I'm saying?
Already.
Excuse me. Yeah, we're getting down.
I'm feeling it. I still haven't seen these guys live. I want to.
What?
I still haven't seen them live. I want to.
Me neither.
I want to.
It's time, dude.
It's time.
It was time.
It was time. I don't know if it's time
it's kind
anymore.
Of past time now.
A little bit past time.
Chromo, you had your day. Yeah, it's sorry. And you know what?
Beautiful. I'm sure.
I mean, let's just give them their due real quick. I need that part where the cymbal comes in. It's about to happen. Right here.
100%.
Yeah.
This would be like a good small venue concert.
I feel you.
I wouldn't feel it maybe at Red Rocks a little bit.
No,
yeah.
You know what?
You saw them
I
at
thought I
Red
had a
Rocks,
flashback that were like I saw them at Red Rocks, like they opened for something. I'm like, did I actually see them at Red Rocks? Or am I losing my goddamn mind?
I saw the eyes. I saw the oh shit.
That 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah. There they were.
There they were. Dude, I might have seen a lot of shows at Red Rocks, to be fair.
I haven't seen enough shows at Red Rocks, which, you know, doesn't limit.
I have the advantage of growing up basically 20 minutes from it. So
yeah, that's true.
That's going to give me that leg up, as it was.
Yes.
I
see like one a year, at least.
I'm kind of over it.
I love the venue.
Not Red Rocks. I mean, just going to shows as much.
Yeah, no, yeah. I feel you on that. It has to be a good show.
You go to... What is wrong with me today, guys? You got to set them out. Like, I turned 97 years old after I ate my breakfast this morning. My stomach's hurting. I don't know what's going on. I ate an apple and like... It must have been that one from Snow White because I'm fucked up right now.
Oh.
Woo!
You gotta just
100%.
give it a sec. It'll go. Still digging it.
Okay. Sorry, gang. But yeah, I'm just not into going to shows as much, man. We've been to some. Chromeo was the heyday again. I was really into them for that time. But now I actually don't like them. This is the only song I listen to still.
Okay.
It's not that I don't appreciate them, but I just don't want to listen to them.
I definitely don't listen as much. I remember like Fancy Footwork was out and I was like, oh yeah. And now I'm like, yeah, I'll skip it on the car ride, baby.
Yeah. Skip. This is the only one that has the staying power for me these days, which is why it must be great.
It must be. This is the same time we were listening to them in Cherub, and we saw Cherub like 9 times. Chromeo, not a once.
Chromeo. I mean, the thing is, Chromeo kind of got a big head.
A little,
they thought there was some hot shit, and they were charging a little bit too much for them ticket prices. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I don't go to shows as much.
You know what? $70? Come on, dog.
Yeah.
You're
Cherub
one
was
dude.
15 at points. Just go to fucking down the road at a house. They're just playing a house show or some shit.
I think honestly, what happens is like when you're getting older. Maybe it's not. Okay, here's what I think. It's like a timeline. No, everyone does things in different orders, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like I went to a shitload of shows when I was growing up, and because my brother and his homies and friends were always really into going to shows, and we'd go to all kinds of music. Like growing up, that was my thing. I was just going to shows all the time. Headbanger. So when I was 15, I was going to like metal shows and hardcore shows. I went to like see the Warped Tour. I went to see like jam bands and rock shows and stuff after that. And I haven't been to as many hip hop shows, but even those I was like going to for a little while. And then after a while, you just kind of feel like you know it's there for you, and so you have to be really inspired by or you're like, that's someone that I really need to see. You have to be a super fan at a certain point.
Yeah, I'm still into like the classics. I'll still go see Atmosphere occasionally. I've seen him probably 12 times or something like that, so I'll go hit it up. But he just did Winter on the Rocks, and I was like, hey, it could be cold. I'm out. It needs to be like a really good venue.
Well, he hasn't really changed the game up too. His set list is pretty much the same since it was 20 years ago, 10 years ago.
It's still very entertaining, but it's like, oh, that song again.
Dude.
And nothing, and he's playing this new stuff, and I'm like, it's not the old stuff, I guess.
It's just not the old stuff.
It's just not the old stuff.
Well, nothing against you people that still have to go to shows, because
do it. It's a great time.
It's a great time. And I still like going. I like to dance now. That's the thing, is like I go less to see a certain song or see someone I like. I'm more interested in going to somewhere I know I'm going to enjoy dancing and moving around.
Yep.
That's the new frontier for me.
Is the move? It's all about the movement.
It's about that movement, man. It's about that old person movement is what it's about. It's like, well, I can't, if I'm on just ground level the whole night, then I probably won't injure myself and I'll be able to do things the next day.
Can't dance in the stands. There's too much risk of falling over, people bumping into you. Not enough room to really get loose. I remember last time I was at Red Rocks, I wanted to really get into it, and I was like, I'm just bumping into people and I feel bad.
Really? Red Rocks is actually one of the better venues for that.
We wanted to get lower, so
you were like down in
packed,
first like 6 rows.
And I was like, I'd rather be up at the top, just moving. Yeah, I'll stand at the goddamn top of the shed on top, dance alone up there on my own little stage. They can't stop me.
Yeah, you just have your own party there. Yeah. There's no one in your way.
Perfect.
I love that when you're at a show and you see just the one dude isolated, like he doesn't give a fuck. He's almost certainly on certain amounts of drugs absolutely. That you don't know. You can sometimes detect there's a combination. You're like,
you can tell by the
there's
movements.
A little bit of, there's definitely some Molly, ecstasy in that guy's his. What are they? The pupils are just too raccoon-like.
Yeah, and his hands are on him instead of dancing. He's a little bit.
Yeah, if he's feeling himself a little too hard, you're like, a little bit too much. All right, well, okay, there's something there. Or he's just like tripping over and he's like, he's kind of got like a slack jaw thing going. You're like, well, there's the booze.
There you go.
There's the booze there.
And if he's interacting with someone who's not there or constantly staring off into there's something happened over there. There's your acid or mushrooms kicking in.
When he takes a dance pause break and just
and we're back.
And then back.
Yeah, we're back. We did miss a note.
Yeah.
That's another thing with age though. Early 20s, that's the guy you go, look at this loser. And now in your 30s, you're like, that guy's having a great time. I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, you get you project your own insecurity, I guess. You're like, I couldn't have a good time like that. I would be too embarrassed.
Yeah.
To fucking go,
Did he come here alone?
Yeah.
And now you're sitting there alone in your 30s going, he's living the dream.
Hey, wait.
Waiting.
Real quick.
Okay.
30s. Calm down, dude. I'm in my 30. I'm in my 30.
We're not okay.
I'm in my 30.
We're not pushing
singular right now.
Okay, we're not.
I haven't hit the one yet. I haven't even hit one.
In your 30.
I'm in my 30.
It's singular.
It's a new thing.
Okay. You'll learn.
I'll learn. Yeah. So
Give it a sec.
Give me. Well, what's the wisdom? Where you at right now? You're at that 35.
I'm about to be 34. About to be 34.
Sorry for going to the up.
That's all right. At this point, it's all the same. It's all the 30s, 36. You get to 38, I'm a little insulted, but
okay, yeah,
in the middle 30s. What's the wisdom? You think it's going to be different. It's not much different.
Oh, come on. It's got to be different.
You're still figuring everything out. You don't know.
Well,
no one knows.
That's what never changes, right?
Yeah, that's
the thing that never goes away. Figuring it out.
Figuring it out is not a... I didn't think in my 30s. I just remember in my 20s thinking, in my 30s, I really hope I have it figured out. I'll be in my 30s.
Yeah.
And then in your 30s, you're going, hopefully by 40.
The operative word being it. Because you figure something out.
Yes. Not none of the big things.
None of the big things.
None of the big things. I'm still... I mean, I guess some people have it. Maybe some people have it figured out, and
what do you want to
don't.
figure out? What are you trying to figure out right now?
Ooh,
what's on your agenda for figuring out?
I need some sort of... I think I'm lacking the ambition to really search what it even is. I'm waiting for it to figure me out. And I need to be figuring it out.
Oh, yeah.
And
when you wait, it's trouble. It could be trouble.
It could be trouble. Some good things
fun.
have happened.
Could be a good time.
I like the spontaneity.
You know?
And some good things have happened. So it's not like it has eluded me. But I just haven't really gotten a hold of it. I catch a glimpse every once in a while and I go, ooh.
How do you tap into that, do you feel like? I think like this is actually really... This is a super important conversation. This is something that I do too, like that I'm like doing more and more of, and like trying to find that you know?
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, partly like, you know, I announced last episode actually how I have stepped down from my roles at Apex and just exploring these new avenues in career and like a new, you know, what I feel like is where I need to go for my own personal growth and for my own, whatever, sovereignty or like, you know, my own,
your own
for lack of a better word.
No, totally. Yeah, for me, it was in my 20s. It was try all of it. If anything came at you, experience it. Now in my 30s, it's be a little more selective with what you're picking up and putting down. And I can't complain. I mean, I have 2 to 3 jobs, depending on if you want to count non-paying jobs as jobs. But I got a couple of options, and they're all going really well. And now I'm it's settling down, but not giving up. Being willing to experience anything that comes at you. It's not like, I can't, I have an apartment, so I can't do this thing. No, figure out a way to make it work. Like, if it's going to be worthwhile, make it work. If it's something that in the end you're just doing because that's crazy. That my time for that has mostly passed. I still do some crazy shit here and there, but it's like little mini adventures.
And don't get me wrong, I love novelty.
Ooh.
But no. I know what you mean. It's just like there's a real thing now. It's like, all right, it has to be novelty plus something else. Yeah. Or the plus something else, and then novelty's just icing. I
want to come out positive. In my 20s, breaking out net even was fine. Oh, I lose a week of work, but I get to go on this adventure. Like, okay. But now it's like, okay, how can I make that adventure work so that it's more than just the benefit of I went on an adventure? Because I've done, I'm not adventured out, but I've done adventures. The basic adventure is no longer there. Is it a first time experience? Cool, that's my net positive. I can check it off the list. But like, I've been to Hawaii. Going back to Hawaii would be like, it's a lot of money. I'm missing a lot of work. And I've been to Hawaii. And it was a crazy adventure at that point. So am I going to do it better this time? I got to do it better. Otherwise, it's just, not worth it anymore.
Yeah. There's different avenues. And like, that's what I was saying about doing things in different order,
Yeah, everyone's
it's just
different.
Like, you did the concert thing. Okay, now what? And maybe you don't get your fill of certain things. Like everyone has different appetites for these different domains.
That's perfect. That's when people can make a career out of like, no matter how many shows I go to, I can always go to more. Cool. How can I, incorporate that into my lifestyle? That's what I do. I'm the show guy.
I'm the show. You see me at them shows.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a show?
I'm gonna be there.
I'll see you there.
Yeah. What's your next show? Ooh, I got to leave in an hour for the next show. I'm already on the road.
Shit. I'm off Tuesday, but I have a show.
I have a show, yeah. No free time for this guy. Meet me at the show if you want to hang out.
I'll see you at the... what show was that again? All of them.
All of them, yeah.
I'm there.
There's 3 shows tonight. What do you do?
Dancing. You'll see me dancing and staring. Yeah, I think that's huge, man. What helps you decide like what to pick up and put down now? Do you feel like?
I guess it's a little more analyzing than it used to be. Again, you said novelty. That word is like perfect. It used to be like the novelty. Oh, I gotta try it. It's novel.
What? Staple my nutsack? All right.
Don't know that.
Done that before?
And now I know. Don't do it again. Jesus. But now it's a lot of like you're making lists, your pros and cons. You got a little journal, I guess, and whether it's mental or it's physical, you just gotta be willing to say.
Here's a question then.
Okay,
because I think going on this different orders and different themes and stuff.
People do differently.
What do you think then is what you gained that maybe someone else your age didn't gain in their 20s? Like maybe they know how to journal and they maybe know a little bit more about this analytical way of looking at life, but
so they're doing my 20s and their 30s maybe, and they're switching
potentially, yeah.
Man, there's a lot. Travel. The big ones I think are just travel, sex, and again, novelty. I come back to that novelty. Don't be afraid to turn down a situation that like you haven't done before just because it's new. Like unless you're gonna put yourself or someone in harm, go for it. Do it once. Try it. I do this canyoneering thing. I started last year, and my friend Lucas runs this adventure where we go into Utah. We just like put ourselves in slot canyons. Oh. They're like, is there any, like, do you know what you're doing? Nah, we'll go in and we'll figure it out. So we did it for like 5 days.
Sounds dangerous.
It was at one point pretty dangerous. We brought some people who were new. And
talk about that 294 hours.
We went down that canyon.
Really?
Yeah. We went down that canyon, and that dude went off a different like little route. It's called Aaron's Dark Slot, and that's where his fucking arm is and shit. It's like if people like go.
Is his bone still there?
They closed off the hole, but like you can go and like look like, oh, there's the hole. I see the hole.
You see the rock.
I can't go look over it. They don't want anyone else being like, me too. Yeah.
Like they start doing like photo ops like with their arm behind their back and
then it rolls over and it's fucking on them. Like, that really sucks.
Shit.
Shouldn't have been alone. But yeah, like we did that, and I know I talked to a bunch of people. Hey, I'm going to do it this year, and so many people are like, "You're crazy! I'm not going to do that." It's like, why? Well, like, what happens if? Well, I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like, the chances of that happening are less statistically possible than getting in a car accident, and you're about to get in your car and go drive. So like, the what ifs, like, don't worry about the what ifs. This could be like a really dope camping adventure. If you really think it's dangerous, come camping in Utah. Don't go on the front canyons with us.
Or admit that you just don't like it.
Yeah, that's okay too. You say that.
You know what I mean? Sometimes people are they're making the wrong excuse.
Yeah.
You're like, if you don't like being outdoors, you don't have to convince me that you do.
I don't want to camp.
But you can't because I got or fears or whatever. Yeah.
I'd go camping, but
there's
like,
so many different like things that people are afraid of, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, you don't want to be living in any of that.
Yeah.
100%.
That's another thing too, I guess, now in my 30s. In my 20s, it was, you don't like it, but you didn't do it yet. And now it's, you don't like it? Fair enough.
Yeah.
People don't like things. Yeah.
Not everyone likes everything.
Not everything likes everything.
If they did.
No skin off my stapled nutsack.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like why things go. I kind of think that plays into why people have these different eras, stages, different orders of experiencing things. It depends on like sometimes what they're afraid of.
Yeah.
Like for me, I was less afraid. I mean, you could argue that I was less afraid of jumping over a fucking roof gap than I was of like, all right, like I'm gonna settle down and really focus on applying journaling or applying like looking more inward and or talking publicly.
Yeah.
Some of these things like were scary to me. I had to build up courage or whatever, or build up, or maybe it has less to do with that and it just has to do with where the order I found them in.
Yeah.
But it's weird that it's equally challenging. You're always working at like your limit. And for me now, definitely it's true. What up?
Who is it?
It's Julian.
Classic Julian
For me
stuff.
now, it's definitely true that it'd be less scary for me to do some of the things I'm doing on here and in my own life, or pursuing like different dreams than it is to like jump across a roof gap. Whereas the other, where it's completely reversed for other people.
I mean, obviously, people look at what you do and what we do as parkour athletes is, that's crazy. How do you even get yourself to do that? That's crazy. You're gonna hurt yourself. And then they have no problem journaling, and I would look at them and be like, You know what's a good one? Flossing.
Flossing.
How do you floss? I tried flossing once. Never again.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Smell you from here, bro. I'm just kidding.
I brush it. I'll brush 3 times a day.
Dude, flossing is key.
They
say that you should floss even more than you should brush.
See, I've also heard that flossing statistically doesn't actually improve much.
See, they're always conflicting.
It's always conflicting. So many studies.
God
you can
damn
find
it.
a study for anything.
There's too much money in dentistry, man.
That's what it is.
That's why you can't get any good information out of that.
That's what it is.
It's tough.
Goddamn dentists.
I mean, I'm actually working with a biological medicine center now, and like that's part of the thing they're trying to reframe and change. I'm not intelligent enough on the topic to really speak on it at the moment, but
what's this? What is this?
What is it?
What are you doing?
Oh well, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth and explain it, but basically, yeah, no. it's a biological medicine center, and that's partly what they do is they look at what the current dentistry, like not just dentistry, but all of medicine is doing wrong in terms of like looking and knowing that it's just fueled by money, and like they're making people's health worse, and often in cases just so they can continue to pump drugs or prescribe these certain types of treatments and things. And there's a lot of contention over it. Hopefully we'll help peel back those layers. But that's like what's so interesting is like with all that stuff, we always are getting it wrong, which is why I think that novelty is important, you know?
Yeah.
Why you have to be open to it, because that stagnation is the antithesis of growth.
I think that's what I think maybe I'm most afraid of is that stagnation. That's why I try. I'm jumping from apartment to apartment or job to job just to like have it feel like there's always something new happening. It doesn't have to be the same area of my life. This year it's a new job. This year it's a new adventure. This year it's a new apartment. Cool, you know. But I got a bunch of stuff coming up. So I mean, I guess.
Yeah, tell us about. You're gonna get in that. What you got going on?
Well,
first of all,
for those who weren't paying attention the last time. I got 2 different jobs. One of them is, the same old. I'm still running Apex. That's my fallback. I got that in the back pocket if I ever need it. The newer gig is a talent agent for the esports players. I did that. I'm a little more self-sufficient these days, so it's a lot less hey, should I do this? And a lot more fuck it, I'm doing it. I kind of know what I'm doing at this point. And I got the wedding coming up in August, and that's going to be the new life adventures. Ooh, the married life. Is it different? ... Conclusion, don't know yet. Not married, but we'll see.
When you getting married?
Is August. August is when I'm getting married, and then September I'm throwing a party for everyone in Colorado because we're doing a East Coast and a West Coast thing. Yeah.
I'll be at that party.
You will.
Can I wear
Already, yes.
Okay.
Before you,
there we go.
I almost want it to be a surprise now.
Okay, yeah. Now I can make it whatever I want.
That's if you walked in butt naked, I'd be like, that's what I was expecting.
That's basically what I was thinking at this point.
Perfect. A pan.
Just a nice like cheated print cock ring.
Ooh,
and like
almost like a sleeve, like a cock sleeve.
Yeah, like a sleeve. Yeah, because I want to be indecent about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be come on.
Just the ring would be ridiculous.
Just the ring. No, the ring it's like a tie. It's like a tie that I slide inside.
That's perfect. And it hangs
and
over.
We're back to where we were.
Yeah, this feels more comfortable.
Like, see, this is all about the novelty.
It's all about the novelty.
I had to think that thought. I've never thought that thought before, so I had to go for it.
Okay, novelty. Ready? We're gonna go in between. We're gonna join the conversations. What's the weirdest thing you ever put your dick inside?
The weirdest thing?
The weirdest thing, because I immediately you said put your dick inside, and I thought, oh man, remember that time I did this thing, which we'll get to. But
well, I feel like you have a story prepared, so let me.
It's not. It wasn't prepared until I thought of it, but yeah.
This is I mean, surely it happened when I was like 11 or something.
Oh yeah.
Like there's no doubt about that it was like when I was going through puberty and like you just put your dick everywhere.
You put your dick in things, yeah. I'm with it. I did that. See, used different stages. Mine was backwards.
Oh really?
Yeah, I didn't put my dick in anything until after I'd put my dick inside of a female. Then I put my dick in all sorts of shit.
See. What like? Well, give me your.
My story was a pumpkin. I put my dick in a pumpkin.
Once.
Yeah.
Hey, see, that's not too weird. It's pretty weird. It's pretty fucking. I mean, it kind of depends on the pumpkin.
It was post Halloween. It was one of those.
Better have been.
Yeah, we were having a Halloween party, but it was like November 2nd because college. You do the weekend thing. So then it was like,
was it in like a jack-o'-lantern's mouth?
No. So there was a jack-o'-lantern
or an eye.
But
this is such an odd. Keep going.
We took a like. What do we like the back of a broom, if you will, and just like poked a hole. Mm-hmm. And then I wasn't the first, but someone else was like, "Oh shit, someone should fuck that pumpkin." And then sure enough, I turned around and there's someone else with his dick in a pumpkin. And I was like, how is that? And he's like, it's honestly the sinewy bits. It's not too bad. And I said, well, no, I got to try. So I put my dick in a pumpkin.
Come out with a little fucking pumpkin seed on your...
So the seeds were gone because it was a jack-o'-lantern. But I did come out with like that little, orangey stringy
well,
bit.
Congratulations.
It was...
Yeah, I think...
now we have beautiful pumpkin babies together.
Well, yeah, for next year. For next Halloween.
Exactly. Little mini pumpkins.
I love those little mini ones. Those are my favorites, actually.
Those are great. You just draw on them. You don't have to carve them. You paint them because you don't want to...
Sharpie actions.
You don't want to damage them, yeah.
Dude, I wish I could think of something really funny or like really good.
Not everyone...
I thought of like...
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I really don't know. I think I probably fucked like furniture or something, or like put my dick in between couch cushions or something.
Couch
cushions.
I don't know
if I did that or if I'm pulling that out of like my friend's. Because I remember my friend told me, he's like, dude, I like fucking squash. He's like, my mattress, and like I get a fucking Ziploc bag, and I'm like, dude, you have a fucking system.
That's a plan.
Yeah, I was like, I'm doing this wrong, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like most people, when they're kids, are like, I have an erection, what do I do with it? Put it in something. And they just... This guy was like, when I get an erection later at 7, I get like, I have my whole system up already. It's good for him, though.
Yeah.
It's planning.
I was pretty careful not to put my dick in something too weird, I guess.
That is probably the better plan.
I was raised Catholic, so there's a lot of shame in putting your dick in things in that religion. So until I left the church, and then then there was like,
and then whatever.
Then I thought God would get me if I put my dick in something.
He's watching.
He could see. Yeah. My grandfather had already passed away, and he was going to be watching too. I couldn't do that in front of him. Like it was just awkward, The things that they brainwash you with sometimes, man. It's terrifying.
Oh my God, why are the angels watching me with my dick out?
There's a lot of weird sexual shame and guilt in that religion.
Oh yeah, and then they wonder why it's
and then they wonder why it's repressed and gets totally out of balance. And
go figure.
Sorry, Catholics out there. I know that you are trying to do the right thing, but
I tried to explain the Bible to someone the other day, coming from having never read it or been to church, and it turns out I was missing a lot of information, and everything was out of order too. I really didn't know what order. I knew basically there was Adam and Eve, there was Cain and Abel,
boom.
There's Noah.
Love that one.
That is Pillar of Salt. I learned kind of what that story was later, but I just knew there was a Pillar of Salt.
Yeah, Pillar of Salt.
Just like God turned the wife into salt. That's all I remember. That's Sodom and Gomorrah. The one guy.
That's where your pumpkin comes in, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's. I got the pumpkin in Sodom, but I fucked it in Gomorrah. And then there's Jesus, and that's, as far as I know, that's all the Bible things. Mm-hmm. But apparently there's more. But nay, it's a big book.
It's a big book.
I feel like I missed a couple chapters.
Yeah, I know. People would be like, when I was younger, I used to think like, oh, like people would ask you, did you read the Bible? I'm like, yeah, of course. Read it every Sunday. They force me to read it. They read to me about it.
I can't stop reading.
It's Leviticans and all that shit.
So, so I know that word. No idea what it means. That's the one where you can't do anything. That's why
I was so like lost sometimes in church. I remember just being like, whatever, 9, and just being like, what the fuck is going on? A letter from Paul to the Corinthians, page 4. Or I don't even know. And they just go on, and then
don't know what the Corinthians still are.
Don't know either.
I'm assuming they're a group of people from Corinth.
That makes sense.
But I don't know if Corinth is a place or not. So
I'm like, and then I would just be like secretly I'm kneeling. I'm like, oh, sick. This is the third kneel. I had like a map of like how mass went. I was like, all right. So after the third kneel, then there's like another like 10 minutes of talking. Then we go up, we get the little wafer and the wine.
Classic.
And then we get to leave like real quick after that. So I'm like, nice. Okay, here we go.
Nice. We're close. We're close to feeding time and then release.
Yeah. Well, you must have been raised Catholic too, right?
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. That's super popular in that Italian.
So yeah, my mom was very like, figure it out on your own. If you want to be religious, you're more than welcome to. Her parents, I think, were a little bit religious, but not like overly religious. And then she and her brother and sister, my aunt and uncle, were like, pass. And my grandparents apparently were like, cool. Do what you want to do. And so then I was raised. My mom was she wasn't atheist. She was very much like, hey, if you want to learn about it, feel free to learn about it. If you don't want to learn about it, don't. And then I, learned I know enough about each religion to say like, oh, if I had to speak on that religion, but I don't know enough about their books. I didn't read the book. So yeah, people are like, oh, what about the Bible? I'm like, that is a story told a million times, edited a million times, and then changed a million times by whoever wanted to change it, who was in charge. Like, that story could have been entirely different when it started. So besides that part, let's talk about your religion. Let's talk about what you believe. Cool, I'm down to have that conversation.
What do you believe?
I am an agnostic, so I believe that I don't know. I'm not going to know. And humans are afraid to say they don't know. So that's just, you don't know, bro.
I feel like I definitely agree that no one knows. No one could possibly know.
I feel like if all religion was, I believe this, but also I don't really know. I just believe it. Do you feel like
you have a relationship with anything outside of...
Nah.
Like, no. You're just like, yeah, well...
Nature, I guess you want to say.
Nature. Like, because this is the thing, is like, I see like all that as... That's where people get confused sometimes too, is like nature, God, spirituality, witchcraft, like whatever like your thing is.
Yeah.
I feel like it's all everyone just kind of, again, you don't know. You couldn't know, but there's something that you might feel about like the way, like when you feel like something's right or you feel like something's wrong. I don't know either. But I don't subscribe to any kind of religious practice, but I think that there's, I don't know, dude. I can't even tiptoe the line without feeling like I'm committed to a statement that I don't actually feel committed to.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I do feel, I'm definitely not atheist, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's no point to what I'm doing, and there's no value in like my appreciating what might be bigger than me.
Oh, see, I'm existentialist philosophically. I think there's no point to what any of us are doing in terms of like the grand scheme of the universe. But like, we might as well make the most of it.
Well, I think, we're
here, so why not? I mean, but like in terms of like, when we look at an ant, we're like, oh, that's us in the galaxy, let alone the hundreds of millions of galaxies in the universe, let alone what we think could be beyond the universe. Like, the grand scheme of things, we're not making a dent on anything. But we might as well try and do our best. There's no reason to like...
Well, yeah, and I think that's like, yeah, exactly. And making a dent isn't necessarily a goal that is even worthwhile.
Yeah,
potentially.
That's
true.
That's true.
I don't know. Like, nobody knows. That's
nobody
kind of
knows.
The fun. That's kind of the fun.
I like religious people who say that.
Yeah,
and they're like, I believe there's a God, but I'm willing to have a conversation about whether, why you do or don't believe, or what I do believe and why I believe it. It's the people who are like, there is a God, you don't believe in it, you're dumb, and it's like. Just based on everyday life, what makes you believe? Well, the book said. I was like, okay, well, no, we can't have this conversation.
That's when you get into trouble.
Yeah.
But hey, man, I didn't stick my dick in a pumpkin, so.
Good point. God is so mad at me.
So you just.
Every time I bring it up, it's just another like minus, just like F.
Yeah.
On my eternal report card.
No, dude, I think that's. I don't know, dude. It's just weird. There seems to be a trajectory to existence.
No, yeah.
That's all I can say, I guess.
That's a great way of putting it. We started here.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Now we're here.
Drake knows what I'm talking about. Maybe he does. Who knows? He doesn't write his own stuff, right?
That's what I don't want to. I'm agnostic when it comes to this. But
I'm an agnostic.
I don't know.
I am too.
I don't know, but I
clearly he produces a lot of value. Clearly he knows something. He wouldn't be that successful if he didn't. I don't really give a shit. What do you think about 21 Savage being from Britain? Is that a real fact, actually? I don't even know. You couldn't pay attention to this. I barely do.
I heard about the story and went, That's the end.
I don't.
I'm not into the mumble rappers.
Let's keep moving. I don't know anything about it, dude. I have no facts on the matter.
I'm not into the face tattoo rappers, the SoundCloud rappers.
I think
they sound very similar.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's why.
But I think that sometimes, I don't know. I don't know, like if the universal things, do they change? It's hard to know because I wasn't there years ago. I'm like, where is, is it? I'm losing it right now. I just think that, like, all right, sometimes I like to appreciate even the dumbest music that comes out, like dumb, the most mainstream, but the most easily, because I can appreciate not necessarily like the insane underlying intelligence that's there, but just like the hustle.
There's a time I don't knock the artists. They're doing their thing and they're making money and people enjoy it. Cool. And there's a time for it. If we're at a club and that song, some song by an artist I couldn't, something starting with Lil. I can't believe that's back, by the way.
Lil.
I feel like Lil's back.
Is it back?
Wasn't like Lil Pump a guy or something like that?
Lil Pump's a guy.
Okay, so
Lil Jon started it. Who started it?
No, Lil. What's his name? Lil Bow Wow is the first one I knew.
That was the first one?
And then he just became Bow Wow. Of course, he grew up. He
He's so Lil anymore. He's still Lil, though.
But Lil, he was the first Lil I knew. L-I-L. And then Lil Jon. And I was like, interesting. He went the Lil Bow Wow approach. But now there's a whole bunch of them. Maybe there's more than I didn't know either.
It's surprising that, like, because people like novelty, that still works.
Yeah. Well, you had Biggs. You had Big Pun.
Yeah.
You had
Yeah, I guess like it's a nice little, Look, I just said it. Things that people are like, they enjoy things that are little.
They like little things.
And they like big things.
Some people like big things.
Some people like big. It's a good way to kind of capture half the audience. Are you kind of person that likes little things, or like kind of person that likes big things?
I feel
like
little
people go, I like little, and then you have them on your side.
Yeah,
you have the momentum.
The little seems to be the more popular, but I will say the bigs seem to be the more profound. I guess. I mean, Lil Jon isn't really known for his rapping genius. But you compare him to Pun and B.I.G., you're like, oh, those are two of the greats. Like, so maybe you have to earn the big. You start as Lil. Maybe he was. It's an attitude.
That's an attitude. I think you want to. If you're Lil, you probably just want to be playing on that little terrain.
Okay.
And maybe you recognize that.
That's fair.
Maybe Lil Jon knows he's no biggie, and so he goes, "I'm gonna hype in the background."
I'll step down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have as much to say.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Whatever. Anyhow, we're all over the map today. Let's see
That's
here.
What we got?
What do we got? You were gonna tell us more about what you're doing with. You got Twitch coming up, potentially, right? You're gonna start streaming again.
I was thinking about start streaming again. Yeah. So the goal is to possibly get my own computer room, office-ish, if we get a new place to live, and then get streams back going. Just back on the grind. It was fun when I did it, and it was one of those like, oh, I'm in the living room. Like if the TV's on behind me, that kind of ruins the whole moment. So might as well just once I have an office, it's gonna be a lot easier to just throw that camera back up and stream. And then I'm also working with SPL, and that's going. We're announcing stuff like crazy.
You guys are going ham right now. Who's doing that? Who's managing that?
That's
what's going on?
Dylan Poland. Dylan Poland is our hype man.
Oh yeah,
he's the one bringing it in. If you're seeing something on Instagram, you're seeing something on Facebook. That's that man putting it all up. I'm the guy behind the guy. I'm the guy who's emailing all the gyms, all the facilities, making sure we're on track, making sure we have our things going.
It looks like it's going to be a big year.
It's going to be a big year. We're going. This is our first. I want to say international, but we might be leaving North America. We might have a qualifier in the European region.
Ooh,
if we can connect the dots. There's nothing set in stone yet.
Any particular, like in the UK, maybe in the Spanish realm?
I think we're looking at a certain gym. Realm? You know what? I don't want to say. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
Someone's listening.
I think we're looking. Yeah, like we're looking at a certain gym over there, and we have some people over there who are like, "Let me know. We'll run this."
Okay.
But it's six in America on sites in Vancouver. So it's at least 7. Top 3 are going. So that's 21. Plus we have everyone who made the podium from last year going. So we're gonna have a big old comp this year. And then we have youth comps happening the day before our regular regional. So we're hoping to get some youth involved. Gotta bring up them kids on the way.
Kids, they's the future, right?
Them the future.
That's what they say.
They say, well, I think there's some science to prove it, but I haven't lived long enough to see it.
There's also some logic. When they grow up, they won't be kids anymore, so they're not the future.
They're not. Then they're the present, and you're like, well, I thought they were the future. Now there's a whole different thing going on.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
What are the do you see the vision for like a huge network that's global eventually throughout that? Or
the goal is to make it so. I think at some point the thought was get rid of the title, maybe NAPC, and then I think we went back and thought, you know what, let's keep NAPC, because if there's a North American Parkour Championship, that opens it up opens up the possibility of being a
South American,
European,
Western
Asian.
European.
And we're talking about maybe starting an Asian one next year. People are already on board. And it's not a matter of us doing all the work and just going over there and taking over. It's incorporating what already exists.
Yeah.
So there's even ones in America that have like regions. Like
Yep.
I know Seth Rugi is killing it in the like Midwest region, doing like the goal is eventually have those regions be self-sufficient and incorporate them into what we're doing, as opposed to trying to take them over or compete. We don't, it should be kind of unified. So, I think this year the 6 regions are really going to lock down kind of where in America each, if we do end up doing parkour competitions in terms of regional competitions before SBL or before NAPC takes place, this will be what we go with. So we have Northeast, we have Midwest, we have South, Rocky Mountain, Pacific Northwest, and then California. So that's already right there, 6 dope regions.
That's huge.
Yeah.
This is going to be some hot. I mean, it's cool to see the evolution of it, because it seems like this year especially, there's like, ooh, this is a new tier. It feels bigger.
Yeah.
It feels like more developed, and it feels just exciting. Like, and you can feel that like NAPC. Which one is it? This is the 7th.
This is 7.
This will be 7th. It might be the last time that it's like the main event, even maybe 8, and then by the time there's 7 or 9 or 10, there's going to be like this new thing. Yeah, you can just kind of feel us all pulled in that direction, and maybe I'd love to see one of these things happen outside at a real like a real spot. Like
that was on the docket.
We get a permit somewhere like Freeway Park, or we get a permit. I think that would make sense because it's near Seattle or near Vancouver, so you have like kind of the people that are making the moves in that area, but even in what am I saying?
Is it
Vancouver? In Vancouver, there's lots of sick architecture. I just don't know the city as well and how hard that would be to make happen. But my God, I think it'd be so epic to have like and what I really want to see is like a public service. Like you build a parkour park for a competition. This is where I see it going eventually, right? And this is probably not the first time anyone saw it or heard of this, but you build a parkour park, you implant it there wherever this like location is, so then you can actually like gift that community this free public space. And we kind of have to like work our way through. They do an amazing job in the Danish countries and stuff. They have all kinds of parks, but it would be awesome to see, all right, we had this huge competition, boom, now there's this place where the kids can grow up and like train safely or at least be challenged in a way that, and train in a place that is safe and not get into trouble and pissing a bunch of like business owners off. Eventually they'll get there. Eventually get really good so that when you piss the business owners off, you'll get away. You'll get away fast.
That's really what it is.
Or you at least have the polite attitude enough to talk yourself into just
preferred
a
method,
warning.
but then the backup method of getting away is always there.
Sorry, I don't mean to encourage that. I've like always had like really good relations with police and business owners.
Same.
I've never had to like deal with anything too bad, and it's because I never come in with an attitude that's actually like that flagrantly like in opposition to them. If they can come at me with a neutral or even not so neutral, I understand why they're not stoked to see me on their property.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes people lose sight of that.
Yeah.
It's like you're on their property. Maybe you don't believe in property. Maybe you're like, and fair enough. Honestly, this is our world, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck you. You don't get to just say this land is yours. It's in some ways,
but I kind of pay for it, sir.
Yeah, but and I understand that I don't know enough yet. But I do not feel bad about trespassing typically.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So, but I do respect the people's like who maintain that land or whatever. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, maybe even if you don't necessarily agree with it, there's healthy ways to get around that.
Yeah.
Got sidetracked again.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
I think Denver has been kind of pushing towards that more play style when they do parks, like maybe we'll incorporate not like a parkour park, but like some more things with like logs and nets. There's a bunch of like log parks popping up. And then I was just like the littlest bit disappointed, like just a little bit more planning with someone who plays for a living and not just a bunch of like 45-year-olds in suits being like, kids will find this amusing.
Yeah.
And you go and it's like one cargo net and you're like,
didn't you
just Go with it.
Well, they're trying to, and then it gets diluted.
Yeah.
And obviously we want to see parkour architecture.
Yeah.
CargoNet has fuck all to do with parkour almost everything. But if you work with a parkour person, they can be like, all right, well, here's where the CargoNet's not going to get in our way. And like, okay, you can get your Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
Dorks. No, I'm just kidding. Ninja Warrior guys. You guys are cool. Less cool than me, but like,
who is it really?
I just, I've always had a fucking big finger towards Ninja Warrior.
Don't even.
I think I've told that story, but it's like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
If you want to, if you want to get it off your chest.
Let me get it off. Just so people remember, the reason why I say fuck you to Ninja Warrior sometimes is because the first year I went out there, I had the fastest time in qualifying and they just didn't like me, my personality or whatever. So they said, fuck you. And they gave me 3 extra seconds on my time and made me second place.
Yeah.
Which, fair enough. You know who they gave first place to?
I know who they gave first place to.
And who can argue with the personality of the one and only Frosty Fresh?
He is a big, he's the charisma on that guy.
He's the youngest of pimps, and I do, he's hopefully going to come on to talk about him putting out his last video.
Hell yeah, dope.
I'm going to do probably something over Skype with him. Like, I'm really excited about that.
I also believe he's confirmed for the Origins Parkour Pro, the end of the NAPC.
Hell yeah,
at Vancouver. So I was pumped on that. Yeah,
I really want to get back on the broadcast too, if I can. We'll see.
Oh, I can put in a good word.
Put in a good word for me if you would. Because I really was like bummed out that I missed last year. It's the first year I haven't been to NAPC.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't swing it, unfortunately. But it was a solar eclipse last year too, right? Was that the same weekend? I think it was.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, that sounds right.
It was the total solar eclipse.
Yeah.
And I got to see that Guernsey, one of my favorite spots. So
there you go.
I'll take it. But
there you go.
I do want to be there this year.
Novelty, baby.
Novelty. Dude, that's like a once in 40 year thing.
Yeah.
I forgot we were talking about before, so it's shitting on Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, that's how I got to Ninja Warrior. It's not about cargo nets.
Oh yeah,
Denver Parks.
Yeah, just building the right kinds of architecture.
Yeah.
Did you see in Amsterdam? I don't know if you are on Instagram that much, but Bart van der Linden just posted something that I wasn't quite aware that they built a little kind of parkour looking thing at the I Am Amsterdam sign.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
And it's so cool that they're doing so much to help in Europe. It seems like propel free running and parkour forward.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we gotta wait another. What did we get? 20 years before parkour came to America. We gotta wait 20 more years before.
It's 20 more years.
20 more years before it's accepted.
But we can move faster because we have less regulation in some ways.
Yeah, it really is just a matter of making sure everyone understands it.
Our culture is going to lend itself in a different way to strengthening, I think.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll just tell them it's a CrossFit playground and they'll be all about it.
Yeah. Yo. There's a guy actually here in Boulder who's I think trying to do something like a nonprofit that wants to include parkour as part of it, because these community centers are just lacking in some ways.
Yeah.
The world's becoming more, especially in Boulder, it's becoming a lot more bubbled out, and
such Boulder bubble.
It's that bubble life. So we'll see how that goes. I was talking to him randomly. He was I went to his barbershop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's a good dude.
What's the shop? Give him a shout out.
Shout out to the Brooklyn Barber Academy.
Oh, of course. Of course, the Brooklyn Barber Academy.
Yeah.
Gonna have that New York steez.
Yeah, he's trying to incorporate, he wants to build a place for just youth and teens to just become a little bit more strengthened and integrated in their community.
Yeah.
Instead of, I don't know, he just sees it he's from Brooklyn, so I think he sees just a lack of just communication across different cultures and different people in Boulder especially, and he thinks that it's making the kids weaker. It's making them not as and not just that communication, but just having a place where just kids in general can interact and make mistakes and fail. His whole thing is he's trying to help people become better and more independent in their own dreams.
Yeah.
And by trying to make everyone safe, it's not working, just kind of the anti-nerf the world kind of movement.
Yeah. I mean, New York is big on community and big on go outside, come back when it's dark. There's a lot of it's very old school in that way. It's like, they build the plastic playgrounds and you go and you watch, and the kids are all on this metal slide where you slide down and you burn your ass. Or they're all playing on like, throwing bricks at each other. Like that's the game they're like, oh, come back and play on the little monkey bars that your feet still touch the ground. And they're like, no, we want to go jump off shit. So, New York has that little, the steel playgrounds. That's where everyone's at. Just, the old school basketball courts. Kids are just playing with their imagination and just throwing dirt bombs at each other and shit. So I'm glad that that's here, because you come out here and it's very like, oh, make sure you're, wearing your helmet and make sure it's not the same.
It's the same thing as like the people that don't want to go to, it's like they don't want to go in the slot canyon. It's all this what if culture, this what if, it's this concern for safety, and it kills you. You're basically
really
choosing
does.
death over, I just listened to this lecture. Shout out Wes Cecil. If you guys want to check his lectures out on YouTube, it's about joy over fear, or joy not fear, in terms of like the way you experience things. And one of the like key components that he like put out or described was, and I forget who said this. Again, you just go listen to it, but it's like it's just like this ancient philosopher just basically encouraging people, like, build your house on the side of a cliff or a volcano, like do the thing that is dangerous, because for lack of a better, like to paraphrase, like basically otherwise you're just dying. You're just living in fear. You're just doing, you're not even dreaming. You're not even trying. You're just
living
choosing
just to live.
Yeah.
Like I'm president, therefore it counts. Like it's basically getting like a D in life the whole time. Like, what'd you do?
Passing grade.
Oh, I was present. I showed up for attendance. You do any of the work? Yeah, I mean, I went to work and I gave in my homework, but when it's time for the teacher to say, who wants to read this chapter? Never put my hand up.
Yeah.
Time to go on a field trip. Didn't get that permission slip signed. Nah, man, you got to get out there. What are you doing? Field day. Go.
It's tough.
Go try and win the mile. You're not going to win the mile. The kid who runs track is going to win the mile. Try and beat him. See what happens. I dare you. That's fun. You collapse. You're out of breath for 2 minutes. Oh, no. You get back up and you're fine. And then you walk the rest of it, because let's be honest, no one wants to run after that. But
yeah,
at least try.
At least try. And yeah, man, you feel so much better, stronger that way.
Yeah. I'm pumped. I want to see that facility kind of come to fruition. I would love to see.
Me too, man.
A little bit more East Coast injected into the passive aggressive, everyone chill vibe. Like I enjoy it, but like just a little bit of like, I wish Denver was a little bit more of a city, because it has a little bit of a city feel in that there's homeless people, I guess, but like it really is like everything's like, oh, it's 10 p.m. everyone be real quiet. Like there's no fucking, you need one building that just is raging 24/7 and like there needs to be something going on. It's very much like a quiet small town feel for a city that is Denver.
Maybe it's the thin air, dude. It's making us unable.
Imagine though, like if we could party here, go
maybe it's
into
an
New York,
oxygen building.
take over.
We're gonna make the oxygen building, right?
That's what you need.
Pump it full of 100% oxygen. People are just raging in there all day, every day.
And there's no
and they don't even
sunlight.
know why.
Yeah.
You just need some music and some oxygen in a rich environment.
It'll be like a casino.
People will bring their own drugs.
No clocks and you gotta bring your own drugs, of course. No clocks, no windows outside, so you don't know what time of day it is. You just go
a casino.
Yeah, basically a casino. You just go and you just fucking rage, and then you walk out and you go,
how many days has it been?
Yeah, it's it's 3:00. I assume it's Saturday. I went in on Friday, but it could be Sunday. Should find out. Might have work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Shit, it's Monday. I really went out. I fucking party 72 hours. Yeah. Instead, I saw this the other day. It was like a early morning party. They have those going on now where like get up at 6, daybreaker. But it was an early morning like daybreaker version, but you go and you just do yoga. And I'm like, that's just a yoga class. They're like, yeah, but it's going to be like a little bit more of a party atmosphere. I'm like, yeah. You're not really raging. Can I go in hammered? They're like, no, by the way, there's no booze sold. I'm like, okay, this is just a big yoga class. You don't push the daybreaker thing. I want to do a daybreaker where you fucking rage and maybe you don't have to get shit faced. No one's saying you get shit faced, but they have that option. And you rage, and then at noon you take a nap to not get hungover for the rest of the day. You wake up at 7, you do it again at night.
Well, yeah. I mean, I actually don't know. I've seen some of those daybreaker things. I know people that go to them. I think part of what they're trying to do is, I think sobriety for some reason is part of what they do.
Oh, well,
you could do the other one. You could do the other one.
Yeah, I'm missing the point. Okay.
But like, I don't know. I don't know if that's even true. You're not missing the point. you have a new addition.
I would go and rage sober occasionally.
Yeah.
As long as I get to like just dance and have a good time. But I don't want it to be a thing where they're like preachy about it. If some dude comes in drunk and they're like, this guy, like if he's having a good time, he's not puking everywhere.
Fair enough.
Who cares?
Yeah. We need more liquid boundaries with some of that stuff. I bet.
If he's puking, get him out of here. Cool. He's ruining everyone's time. But
then you got to pay for security.
That's true.
I mean, it just becomes a thing sometimes. You know, it's tough.
I'm gonna start my own daybreaker. We're going to give you a blood alcohol test before you come in.
you have to be a 0.1 or higher.
It's to be 0.1 or higher, but below 0.2.
Okay.
You got to be in that good zone.
That zone,
yeah.
Okay.
And then you have to, and if anyone,
what if someone wants
keys, you don't drive up.
What if someone wants to go to your party, but they just don't want to drink?
I guess it's 0.2 and under. Yeah, give me sober. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But don't judge. If you give judgy eyes, it's going to be like Planet Fitness almost.
Yeah.
I don't want that because that sucks.
Well, that's what's weird is like we're always trying to balance the judgment versus the open-mindedness, right? Like, you're like, I have to be a little more choosy about what I pick up and put down in my life.
Yeah.
I can't just let everything in. Just like it's not always working for me.
Yeah, that's true.
So like, it's just tough, right? It's tough.
Boundaries.
That's the constant balance, and that's what you're always figuring out.
That's it.
That's pretty much it.
That's a big part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, what are you willing to let in? What are you willing not to? Where are your boundaries, and which ones do you want to keep liquid and open?
Yeah. I guess all of them. I never ever want to have strict boundaries. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure at some point it's going to be a yes or no question, but I like that gray area. That gray area is where all the fun is. When you have that boundary of like, I do or I don't based on this, like, well, and there's got to be
maybe it's like a boundary, but I guess it's moving.
It's got to be moving.
It's got to move. It's got to move because you move. You're a changing human being. What was I just listening to? Another Aubrey Marcus podcast where it's just like somebody on that, one of his guests was just like, everything is a process. Yeah. Everything's changing. Like you wouldn't even, he advocates, you shouldn't even be called Vinny. You should be called Vinnying. And I should be called Brandoning.
That's okay. So now we're pushing.
It's a little ridiculous.
We're going a little bit overboard because,
but you see the point.
I get the
it's
point.
Just like the point is like that you're an action. You're a verb. You're not this contained thing that like, all right, that's Vinny. There he is.
Yeah.
No, it's morphing constantly, and if your boundaries don't change, then you die in that like stagnant environment.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I guess there are some things that are things. But like, I guess, as a human, I guess I don't get to be.
You don't get to be.
I don't get to be.
What are things? Tell me a thing.
This table's a thing.
But the table
you don't get to be like the table's changing and put your water.
The table is decaying over time, though.
It is, but it's not changing in like its function and or what's happening. Like I don't get to be like the table now is over there. It's not. The table didn't do it. It had nothing to do with what just happened.
Fair enough. But in a millennia, it might not be a table anymore.
We don't.
So it might be.
It's true.
It might be untabling as we speak.
You know what? It probably is untabling, but it's the change then is in a constant rate going this way.
Yeah.
You don't get to be like it's here, but also here's a spike. Like it was an extra table that day. No, I mean that's humans get that. Tables don't get that luxury.
Well, maybe it becomes
table.
Maybe it'd be table, and then it like Ottomans.
Oh, okay.
And then it like,
and then eventually becomes that little thing, that little white thing you put on a pizza.
Yeah. Then it becomes like maybe this. Then you take one of these legs, and it becomes a thing. This is. Like
were you thinking?
What were you think? I don't know, like a weapon, like
a weapon. Okay,
you could use it to bash something over the head with.
Yeah, I guess a table could always be that thing as well.
Did you hear about that dude that fought a mountain lion?
I went there too. I also I did that. Dude.
I was like, I want to hit something on the head. How about a mountain lion that might be attacking me in Fort Collins?
That guy went. Yeah, that was fucking crazy. I can't believe it became such a news story because. I feel like there's got to be people in the mountains who are like, that's called a Thursday for me. How come I didn't get national news? But yeah, I guess there was some specifics there that.
Here's the thing: those people, they don't get attacked by the mountain lion.
They attack.
If that's their Thursday, they just go, bring it. And then the fucking mountain lion goes.
Yeah, and the mountain lion takes off its gloves, like we're doing this again, and then at the end they shake hands and they go, "This everybody, see you next Thursday."
Yeah, I don't think you get attacked by a mountain lion unless he thinks that you're. He's like, I got this guy. I can take him, Or, maybe he's just real hungry. I heard they tested the other mountain lions in the area and they're pretty hungry.
Oh, well.
So it could be just tough. And the mountain lion in question was eating more vegetation than is average or something.
Ooh.
So it was.
So of course, it was the fucking vegetarian mountain lion who broke his vegetarian.
I think he was just mad hungry.
That's
maybe
what happens.
Maybe Tim Sheaf's about to roll up.
Did you see that fucking video where Tim Sheaf ate whatever he didn't eat for 3 weeks?
No, what was it?
It was a video. It was back in the day. It was maybe a couple years ago. He like went on a fast for like 2 weeks or something.
No, he went on like a 35-day fast.
Was that what it was?
It was
Fucking,
insane.
And then it was him eating was a watermelon or something?
It was like a cantaloupe or something.
Cantaloupe. It's hard to watch. Just looking like, okay, cool. You did this thing where like you were testing your limits, but at the same time, that's for you. Did you do it for me? Because if you did it for me, I didn't want you to do it.
I don't think he did it for you.
Then why is he filming it? That was the part of it where I was like, I don't need to. If you did it and then at the end you told the story.
That's a tough thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Him eating for the first time.
Only
was
he
very
would know
like,
that, right? Only he would know.
Yeah, I just found it
I don't
odd.
think that like. Well, I mean, I'm filming this. I'm not really doing it from anyone other than myself either.
But this is a regular. That's what I mean. Is like if he had filmed it, did it for 35 days, eaten, and then told the story about it, I'd be like, okay. And then there was like a regular series, like just so you know, I like to test my boundaries.
I guess I see where you're coming from. Like
this was like a one-off video where he was like, I'm eating for the first time, and then it was just him eating and being like, the food is so good. Like
it is weird that it's not weird, but it is. I guess I don't understand. But like maybe he wanted to capture that moment, and then he decided to publish it. Who knows?
Yeah,
but I don't know. He seemed to have. It's
weird.
It's an interesting question. I would love to have him back on. Maybe he could talk about that. Yeah. Not back on, but on.
Well,
I've talked to him, but I was on a different podcast.
Yeah.
So I was on the Parkour Radio.
We don't talk about that podcast.
No, we can talk about it. Go check it out. There's some good guests on that one.
That's true.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah. It's like an end of a spiritual journey, and for it to be like on camera.
Yeah, I would have gone along with the journey if it had filmed not maybe like once a day, but like once a week. Like, oh, here's what's happening to my body. So it was like an experience I got to go with them. But seeing the end of the experience made it very.
Well, there was
odd for me.
There was other videos, probably, right? I don't know.
If there were, I didn't see them. I only saw the one where he was eating, and it was just me watching a dude eating that should have been eating the whole time, and me being like, I would have sent you a pie, man. I would have shipped you an apple.
You didn't want that pie, dog.
I guess he didn't want it. But even the first meal should have been like
that's fascinating though. I can't believe anyone can go 35 days without eating.
Shit's crazy.
You know. He looked gaunt.
Yeah, I wonder if it had any lasting effects.
Yeah, I wonder too. I don't know. I mean, they say that can be really good for you, but at what point is it diminishing returns? You know,
yeah,
like
that's true.
A 14-day fast feels long.
Yeah,
a week-long fast feels long.
What's the longest you've gone without eating? You
5
can like remember.
Weeks? The longest I've gone without eating since like the last time I've fasted for longer than like 16 hours is probably, I can't even remember.
That's what I mean is like I can remember like maybe like one day camping being like, oh I didn't bring any food.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just eat tomorrow. And like the next day being like, oh my God, I have to eat. I'm so hungry. So that 24 hours maybe is the most I've gone. Like I'm sure maybe I've gone once in a while, like 36 hours, but like at no point was I like, yeah, I'll just won't go the second day without food. Like give me some fucking food. That's crazy.
It's a wild thing to do.
It's a wild thing to do.
It might be fascinating to try something like that though. I don't think I would ever go that long, but
yeah,
it's really good for your joints. It's really good for your body just gets to focus wholly on repair, right?
I guess there's got to be at some point where your body goes fucking survive,
you have
like
to have
organs,
reserves, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're probably going to start eating your own heart.
I say like we wouldn't. I feel like we couldn't last.
I don't have the body type for it. You know, like I don't know that it would work for me so well beyond like even like I think 3 days for me would be. I'd probably that would be like the point where already now I'm stepping into a territory. I don't know though. Maybe I'll talk to a nutritionist. Gain weight,
so I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm eating 5 meals a day.
Me too. Yeah. No, I like to eat, and I want to put on muscle and I want to put on fat reserves. So maybe I can do the big fast one day.
There you go.
You know,
like what's his name from Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Mac. He gained fucking like 50 pounds or something just to do it, just because he thought it'd be funny for the show. And then 2 seasons later lost all that weight, and it was like, and then he was jacked. That novelty, baby.
He not only did he do it for the novelty, he came out jacked.
Yeah, because if you get the fat, then you can turn it into muscle. Oh my God. I'm no scientist.
I would touch his chest. I just rub my hand on his chest and be like, look at that.
All right, calm down.
He did it. So he was that episode. The whole episode, he's just trying to like get him to take his shirt off. And he keeps taking it off and be like, what do you think? And everyone's like, stop it.
That is what's fun. I mean, yeah, you can do anything in your life, and he's like, I'm gonna get fat, get jacked afterwards.
Yeah. How was it? He's like, it was terrible. That's what he says. It was really difficult. It was hard. And then I finished and cool, I did it. Like, good on that guy.
Good on that guy.
Good on that guy.
Yeah, you got to choose your own challenge. Choose your Suffering.
I was just listening to that song in the car, The Suffering.
What is it?
Coheed and Cambria song called The Suffering.
Maybe they'll play us out.
Yo, okay.
Let's get it. Let's get Coheed and Cambria, The Suffering.
Coheed and Cambria, The Suffering.
Because I think what's the album here?
I have the like best of. I don't actually know what album it's off of.
Oh, it's the third one down from the top.
There we go. Like it's one of the more popular ones.
It's pretty popular. It's got 14,307,641 views now.
That is a lot of views. Is it the YouTube?
No, this is just a Spotify
okay.
link.
As I said, because the video is kind of ridiculous. All their videos are ridiculous, but it's one of the more ridiculous ones.
Oh shit! It's been a minute since I've listened to electric guitar.
I mean, college, I was like, oh, Coheed, I really enjoy them. And then, like, nothing until recently. Like, again, like, oh, shit, Coheed kick. It's a good song.
There you go.
Yeah, taking it. I would see them live. I guess that's not, like, really a moving show, but I would see.
See, I love it when someone's stoked on... Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, I would never see them live. But I would go with you, because you love it that much.
Well, they're playing recently, and they're playing with, like, Mastodon. And I'm like, oh, see, like... I would go pay to see Coheed, but then like you have Mastodon. Like, I wouldn't pay to see Mastodon. I don't want to go anymore. I don't want to go.
I want to go.
There's a few. It has to be a really good show in its entirety, I guess.
You gotta have. Yeah.
What's the one band you would go see? Basically, no matter who was opening, if it was in Colorado and it was not thousands of dollars.
I was really disappointed that I missed Daft Punk when they came through at Red Rocks.
That's my one.
Damn it, right?
Daft Punk's
Daft Punk, dude.
We should go if they
Let's
ever
go.
go on
If they
tour
ever
again.
come back, it's gonna have to happen.
Yep.
I used to have this thing for Radiohead.
Okay.
But that was like, I actually went and saw Tom York, like with my friend, my buddy, who's like back from high school. We were both really into them. And it was really fun, but I just don't have the same drive.
It's fair.
You know? I think that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
A D-Punk.
There you go.
Who knows?
Daft Punk's, that's the... I remember when that album came in. We knew at the old Boulder Gym that album came out, the newest album.
That was some fire, dude.
Just fucking playing it on repeat. Just like, fuck, the new album's out, everyone play it. And just play it on repeat in the gym for like an entire night. Like,
see, I want to get into that, dude. I want to get into anonymous art making with a mask. You know, that's
some of the best.
I think
artists,
that's the future because privacy is just disappearing.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't believe that people still are like, Banksy has another piece of art and he's doing this thing. Like, him shredding that art was one of the, like, if you really think about it, one of the most amazing just fuck yous to art culture.
Yeah.
And like one of the most profound, prolific artists who's anonymous did it in front of everyone. And people were just like, oh, just buy it anyway. And it sold for like way more. And you're like, God damn it. Like, the whole point was like, fuck you to selling art in galleries. It should be like a public thing. And then, of course, it somehow still finds a way to be like, fuck you right back to Banksy. Like, double it. Okay, I'll buy it anyway.
Hey, man. But he gets to do even more insane projects with that money in a way. So it's like, whatever. I think it's awesome. Yeah. Both ways. But because he probably knows. He knows it's gonna do that. Yeah. He knows. He's not. It ain't his first rodeo. No. It ain't his first shredded.
If it had shredded all the way, I'm sure they would have sold the strips individually.
If he burned it to ashes, that'll be the next step. They don't leave anything. Then they'll sell the urn.
They'll sell the urn.
They'll sell the urn for fucking big bank.
Yeah. Label it Banksy art, like just a fucking shitty label maker on it, like
burned Banksy art.
Oh,
like
shit.
So
23 million.
Yeah.
Fuck you. That's great though.
That is a weird. That is the final frontier in some ways. It's gonna be weird things when robots and things and all these jobs and people's value starts being not taken away, but people are actually gonna have to create things that don't necessarily have. Well, I don't know. What am I talking about, dude? I was thinking just like in the future, more things are robotic, and it's just there's not going to be a purpose for everyone to like.
There'll be more time to be creative because not everyone will have a set job, I guess.
Exactly.
Universal basic income, all that shit.
All that shit. We'll save that for the next episode.
The biggest conversation.
I mean, yeah, man. I just did my taxes, and I'm like, I'll use some universal basic income next year. How about that? I'd appreciate it.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
That's like the next era for humanity in some ways, I think. Just like we're going to transition out of like, okay, you know, I said there's like a trajectory to existence.
Yeah.
Like part of that trajectory I see is like more cooperation amongst human beings and like living beings, you could say.
It has to be.
And then
Can't be less
when does that get to a point where then now, then there's like this weird oneness thing that becomes a thing, but we also are celebrating and want to continue, I think, to celebrate individuality.
Yeah. And even that's culturally like, the America versus Japan, who's, Japan very much the group is more important than the individual, and America where the individual is much more important than the group. I mean, just that even that is, do you push both in their extreme directions? Do you swap them in America? Like it's hard. Like where does it all go? Because it seems in, that culture of the community is more important is certainly going away, but that's what I see from this point of view in America, where like every single person is out for themselves trying to be the next big star, and it's all about competing. Yeah. Where like that's not necessarily as big in Japan. It's a lot more like it's a whole group of people are doing something towards towards one force, one effort. So
it's weirdly like we're gonna have to like battle our own selves, maybe.
Yeah.
Like the way we had to cooperate to beat out a woolly mammoth back in the day. Oh. Now we are our own woolly mammoth in some ways. Like,
who's the first guy who beat the woolly mammoth on his own and went, "I don't need you"? That's the guy who ruined it for everyone. Yeah. Like fuck, he did it on his own.
Maybe that's how we split, and maybe that's where the convergence happens again. Is like some kind of, I mean, for lack of a better term, like that's kind of what is going on. There's like a war of ideas right now, right?
Yeah.
On like cooperation and like helping and how much responsibility we have to people less fortunate versus how much you have to like be happy. Because weirdly, I don't know that we're fully there. You can't. People do recognize that if you're living for somebody else, if you're eating the melon in front of camera for somebody else, there's something wrong with that.
Yeah,
potentially. It's like what you're not. People like I get stoked because I see you wanting to go to Coheed and Cambria. I get stoked because I want to see people following their dream, not doing things for me. So fascinating.
And
we're going to find out all the answers with Dr. or soon to be Dr. Julian Fraser.
Soon to be Doctor.
On our next
pre-doctor.
Next episode here.
Nice.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Pleasure.
That was a wild conversation. Sorry for all you ADD people are probably stoked because we just bounced around a bunch of times. But
this is the Girl Talk album.
With all you people with a real attention span, we apologize, but don't worry, we're gonna focus in.
Yeah, if there's anyone who can focus, it's that guy.
It's that guy. And look out for the whip check.
Oh, the whip check's coming.
Whip check's coming. You got a new car.
New whip.
We're gonna put that on the. I'm gonna fucking make a little funny video because I love doing that shit. We're gonna do a whip check with Vinny, so look out for that. Much love, brother. See you soon.
Peace.
Hey, what do you know? That episode happened. It's done now. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Thank you to Vinny Fiacco for being an amazing guest. I just want to give you guys a quick reminder. I love you. Thank you for doing this with me. Go check out the description, subscribe, give us that 5-star review, comment. You guys know what the fuck is up. You know what I want. I want that good shit. You guys are too smart. I don't like the fucking bullshit. I don't like to be asking about the things that, you're just going to hear everywhere. You guys are smart enough to figure it out. I appreciate everyone that's supporting it. And thank you guys for helping us spread the word and everything else. We'll see you guys next week. Look out for it. Julian Fraser coming up, Frosty Fresh coming up, and a whole bunch more. See you soon. Peace.